The celestial market of Station Harmony was chaos incarnate, a kaleidoscope of species bartering, arguing, and trading goods from 1,000 worlds. Sarah Chun navigated the crowds with practiced ease, her merchant stall's inventory list clutched in one hand, coffee in the other. That's when she heard the screaming. Not the normal sounds of the market, but the high-pitched, desperate wail of a terrified child. Sarah's head snapped toward the sound, her maternal instincts, honed by years of teaching elementary school back on Earth, overriding everything else. A small Valerian child, maybe 5 in human years, stood frozen in the middle of the thoroughfare. His silver skin had gone pale with fear, his large eyes streaming with tears. The crowd flowed around him like water around a stone, everyone too busy or too uncomfortable to help. Valorians were known for their emotional stoicism. Public distress was considered deeply shameful. Sarah didn't think. She just moved. She knelt beside the child, making herself small and non-threatening. "Hey, sweetie. Hey, it's okay. You're okay." The child's crystalline eyes locked onto her, and his screaming intensified. His small hands flailed, and Sarah recognized the signs. Complete sensory overload, panic spiraling into hyperventilation. Without hesitation, she opened her arms. "Come here, baby. I've got you." The Valerian child crashed in her chest, his small body shaking with sobs. Sarah wrapped him up, one hand cradling his head, the other rubbing slow circles on his back. She started humming, an old lullaby her grandmother used to sing, something wordless and soothing. "Breathe with me," she murmured. "In and out. In and out. That's it. You're doing so good." Around them, the market had gone deathly quiet. Sarah didn't notice. She was focused on the child, feeling his racing heartbeat slowly calm against her chest. She rocked gently, continuing her humming, letting him grip her jacket with desperate little fingers. "Where's your family, honey?" she asked softly once his breathing steadied. "Let's find them together, okay?" That's when she heard the footsteps. Heavy, synchronized, military. Sarah looked up to find herself surrounded by 24 Valerian Imperial Guards, their weapons trained on every being in a 50-meter radius. The crowd had backed away, leaving her and the child in a circle of empty space. A tall Valerian in ceremonial armor approached, his face a mask of controlled terror. "Human, step away from Prince Kyrex." Slowly, Sarah's blood went cold. "Prince, oh God." But the child's grip on her jacket tightened, and a small whimper escaped him. Sarah's arms instinctively held him closer. "He's scared," she said firmly, teacher voice overriding her fear. "I'm not letting go until he's ready." The guard's hand moved to his weapon. "You dare." "Commander, wait." A new voice, resonant with authority. The crowd parted like a curtain. Emperor Thanvar himself strode forward, his silver robes glittering with embedded starlight. Behind him came a woman Sarah assumed was the Empress, her face etched with worry. The Emperor stopped 3 meters away, studying the scene. His son, the heir to the Valerian Imperium, was wrapped in the arms of a human merchant, his face buried in her shoulder. "Kyrex," the Emperor said gently. "Come to father." The child shook his head, burrowing deeper into Sarah's embrace. Sarah felt every weapon in the area focus on her. "Your Majesty," she said carefully, "I think he needs a minute." Whatever happened really scared him. "He becomes overwhelmed," the Empress said quietly, stepping forward. "The sounds, the crowds. We were trying a new treatment program, teaching him to cope with public spaces. But he panicked when we were separated." Her voice cracked. "Nothing works. Our physicians, our therapists, no one can calm him when he spirals." Sarah looked down at the small prince, now breathing steadily against her, his tears drying. "Has anyone tried just holding him?" Silence. "Valorians don't engage in physical comfort," the Emperor said stiffly. "It is considered a sign of weakness. We are taught emotional control from birth." "He's a baby," Sarah said, and there was steel in her voice that made the Emperor blink. "He doesn't need control. He needs comfort." She looked directly at the Empress. "May I?" The Empress nodded, tears now streaming down her own face. Sarah shifted, gently guiding the young prince to look at his parents. See, Mom and Dad are right there. They were so worried about you. Should we go see them? Kyrex nodded slowly. Sarah stood, still holding him, and walked toward the Emperor and Empress. When she was close enough, she carefully transferred the child to his mother's arms. Hold him tight, Sarah instructed. Rock a little. Hum if you can. Just let him know he's safe. The Empress hesitantly wrapped her arms around her son. Kyrex melted into her, sighing deeply. The Empress's eyes widened in wonder. Ow, she whispered. Sometimes, Sarah said gently, the bravest thing isn't being strong. It's letting yourself be vulnerable enough to need someone. The Emperor stared at this human, this unremarkable merchant in worn clothes, who had done what his entire empire's medical establishment could not, who had taught his family something they'd forgotten in millennia of enforcing stoicism. What is your name? He asked. Sarah Chun, Your Majesty. Sarah Chun, he repeated. You have given us back our son. More than that, you have reminded us what we lost in our pursuit of strength. He placed a hand over his heart in formal salute. The Valerian Imperium is in your debt. Sarah shook her head. No debt, Your Majesty. I just did what anyone should do when a child needs help. But that was exactly it, the Emperor realized. Not anyone would have stopped. Not anyone would have defied armed guards. Not anyone would have risked everything for a frightened child of another species. A human would. Within weeks, Sarah found herself appointed as the imperial family's advisor on human emotional protocols. Her techniques, hugs, lullabies, simple comfort, revolutionized Valerian childcare. An entire generation grew up learning that strength and tenderness could coexist. And it all started because one human in a crowded market heard a child crying and decided that nothing else mattered more than helping. That was humanity's gift to the galaxy. The radical notion that compassion wasn't weakness. It was the strongest force in the universe.